I'll call us out to order, as I said, at 7:16. First order of business is congratulations, I got one going, to everybody involved in getting the Green Communities grant from the Commonwealth, which was awarded last week. It's for quite a substantial sum for a town as small as ours, $133,154. $66,000 is for the paid school. $26,000 is for the public safety building. $20,000 is for the DPW building, and $21,000 for Children's Castle. All of them will be improvements to the lighting system, LED lighting, automatic on and off when people are in and out of the rooms in some cases, a lot of high-tech things that is great. It's a big chunk of money for the town, and everybody involved should really be quite proud. It's great. And when you consider we're going against Cambridge and Somerville and places like that.
Yeah, we also get another $30,000 in
matching
Massachusetts national
from
incentives.
Right.
So the total of we're going to get is like
almost
like
200.
No, 160.
It's 130 plus
30 plus 33. Okay, right. And the town only has to, I believe, chip in 5. So it's a great deal. So while we have it, you can I make a motion to accept the grant? I don't know if we have to, but
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The breakdowns, Jen, are in the packet.
Next item, also related to a grant, the town earlier in the spring received a grant to have a study of how we can perhaps improve the downtown, the business district, and one of the ways possibly to do that, one of the things holding it back perhaps is the lack of large enough sewage treatment facilities. So the study with a consultant that's going to be running this in conjunction with West Newbury and the state is to look at creating a pocket treatment plant or a pocket kind of holding tank, and could this help with creating a slightly more vibrant downtown? So that's what the purpose of this study actually is.
Mr. Chairman, I've heard of this. I've not attended any meetings to get any information on it, and I don't think anyone's come in to see us. Can we get some more usually if you put a group in place, then whatever they're studying, becomes the reality. I'd just like to understand it a little bit more. Who's leading this?
Well, that's the information. The grant is from the Department of Housing and Community Development. It's for $15,000, and
so this is something the planning board's doing, basically.
Correct.
Yeah, the planning board.
Yeah, and
quite honestly, I don't think they even. I think they're just asking for input. I don't think it's necessary.
They don't have a particular target or plan either. The idea was to bring people together and see if they have any ideas with the help of the consultant that has done.
So it's a true discussion, not like a predetermined agenda.
Oh, I don't think there's any predetermined agenda at all. No, talking to Leah, I don't think there is at all. It's
I think Mr. McCarran wanted to say something.
They asked for permission to apply for this back in January, I believe.
Right.
And basically, it's to have,
Night.
experts
See you, Chief.
available to determine the feasibility. It's more like a feasibility study than anything else. It's not like they're planning to do it. It's just a question of basically gathering the data to see what businesses could be affected, what might be possible, what areas might be available. So it's just really more of a data collection to see if it's feasible. If it isn't. If it is, then maybe it's something that people might be interested in
It
doing.
might be nice at some point if we got an update or just kind of plugged in.
Well, what the planning board, well, not the planning board, what they want to have is representatives from different, different boards and the town and businesses and stuff to think about this. That's what they're looking for at the moment. They would want to have theoretically one of the Board of Selectmen on this investigative committee, and like people from the.
So they're gonna ask the other people, or are they asking us to do it?
No, I'm assuming they're asking the other people.
Would something like this go on town land?
I don't know.
There's no
It's like
plan
a-
at
I
all.
think-
We're just
yeah, there's
saying,
no plan. It's a
is this
Even
just
viable.
basically what could be done in case someone needs a bigger treatment facility? They're just trying to investigate things. I don't think they have it. I think it's pretty vague. Not vague, but they haven't.
We have it downtown,
yeah.
and it can't expand. So they're gonna come up with some type of feasibility study or not, and say, hey, you know what? By doing this and buying this parcel of land, you could have this done, or it's really not.
I guess
feasible at
I'm
all.
just kind of being a little cautious. I mean, do our residents want expansion? I don't know.
We set this in motion by voting for the grant.
Yeah, in order to do this, I mean, you're going to have to create a special storage district, which the lots would be then, put in it, and they'd have to be the ones who pay for it.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
I
in
don't
some
think it
ways,
can
it would be
hurt.
like a joint thing, like the Whetstone, where you have one.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
One treatment facility.
I got what it is.
But everyone who joins into it would be, part of it'd be like a lien on their property. I mean, whoever owned the property, they couldn't opt out of it. They'd have to be part of it.
I just see this as an investigation. This is even if something came of this would be years in the yeah.
Just want everybody to know and understand what it is. Particularly the people that it would potentially affect.
I mean, in fact,
So
that's
maybe we should ask them to have an informational meeting and invite everybody. That would be our feedback on this draft.
Yeah, I know they had one meeting, and I was out of town. It was
No, but I mean,
Wednesday night or something.
But ask the
who did this.
I thought they did.
Oh, okay.
ask the business owners and stuff like that from downtown. Say there's going to be a meeting. We're going to start this committee up and get some
It can't
input.
hurt to get input before they start strategizing.
And
That would be a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
But then maybe that would be our reply back to them.
Okay.
Do you want to have a selectmen's rep on this thing?
Probably should.
Okay, I think they're asking. I know they're going to make it up, but are they asking us what they think about their draft of a?
Well, that was the other question
So-
in my mind. Is this like a committee?
Are we making? That's what I have to say.
Who is appointing this committee?
Well, obviously, right now that the ones in black are already on it.
They've already asked people.
Gary Bill.
Well, regardless of what they have done or not done, if this is an official town committee, can they make appointments?
I don't know what under, under what thing. I mean, I guess you could say that the planning board to have an ad hoc, almost unofficial committee. I mean, you could get, that's what essentially it looks to be. And
Andy, you're on this. Did they ask you about it?
oh, me?
No, Andy.
No, Andy.
I mean, this looks like a
You're
pretty,
you're on here.
this looks like a pretty official outline of some,
And you're in black and white, not red and white.
I spoke to Leah last week, and she told me about the grant, but she didn't tell me I was on the committee.
Oh,
this looks like a pretty defined committee. I'm just asking if they have the authority to appoint a committee.
It would be an advisory committee, so it would have no, I mean, any of its votes or anything like that could have no, legal standing on it.
Yeah, I mean, they describe it in the letter as a steering committee.
Well, it's like an advisory committee. It's almost like, and again, an ad hoc committee. So any elected board can ask individuals to assist them in their job. But that's how it looked. I mean, it's simply an advisory committee.
Okay. Just asking a question.
okay. It's a good one. Yeah. So, you think we should ask them in to get more information? Ask more
I think Glenn's idea was a very good
business people to come in, or
I had a
residents, or
very
what?
productive and informative kickoff meeting with Steve and Emmy from DHCD this morning. We discussed project scope at length. The study will look at case studies, similar towns with newer planned package treatment facilities serving the small town centers such as Truro and Duxbury. Scale of development in town center to be decided by town. I don't even know what that means. So
I don't know what
besides
that means either.
ID properties potentially served by the facility, I can understand that. Site selection, type of treatment facility available to accommodate desired scale. So what does that, I know what that means, but what does that mean in the sense of desired scale? So is this committee going to say, is the makeup of this committee going to say, well, the desired scale is we're going to want 15 more commercial buildings in downtown?
This is a pretty big thing.
But you know what I mean by
Yeah,
that?
yes, I do.
So that sentence means that desired scale. Is that desired scale going to only accommodate the ones that are there? Is this committee going to say, okay, you know what, in the next 25 years?
No, it's not going to. It's not for people that are there. This is for
Expansion and finance options.
Yes, sir.
So that's where I would agree with you, Joe, in the sense that where are those answers coming from in the discussions?
Yeah, just one point is that planning is kind of the bailiwick of the planning board.
Yes.
They're the ones who are the jurisdiction to
Yes.
to make recommendations on development within the town.
I get that, but as soon as you start talking about sewage treatment plants, who's going to get that phone call? Not the planning board.
I think Joe's afraid that sometimes when you get a ball rolling on a committee, it starts going and going and going and going before it's even defined, which I would agree with. So maybe we could ask them, say, we actually, we should have probably had this discussion before we let them apply for the grant.
But no, I mean, but planning is,
That's what they do.
Yeah, no, I get it. And
So
I
you
don't
wanna
want,
have-
and I don't want to do planning.
See, I don't have a particular problem with investigating something at all.
Well, neither do I. I don't either, one single bit. But again,
I want to know, I don't even know, do businesses that are there right now, is the septic system preventing the food mart from expanding, does it cause problems?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, all of them.
Oh.
Every single one of them. Even the one, okay, so you have the pizza place.
Yeah.
Yes. You have the one next to the post office, I have no clue. The shop there, I know there was a nail salon in there, and she wanted to increase something over there, and she couldn't do it because of that, so she moved, and she went to Newburyport.
Because of water, or?
Yeah, because of the usage. She wanted to do more services in the building, and they wouldn't allow it because the septic system
Okay.
wasn't allowed to do it. Now, for years I've been told, now across the street from the pizza place, where you have the person has the retail stop, Behind there's a dog grooming place. I'm not sure how that's working out because of water, but that's allowed.
Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying is yes. Now, the other part to that is, what about all of the abutting residents? Well, if there's an expansion of the downtown, are they okay with that? Or?
Yeah, he's saying, I'm only answering his question, that to the present businesses down there, are they limited?
Is it an issue?
Are they limited
I'm sure
to what they can do? The
I'm
building,
sure they would say yes.
yeah, I would just say the buildings are limited to what you could do. Like, you could never have another restaurant down there because there's not enough water. Excuse me, there's not enough septic. There's not enough room to have a septic.
Okay, so what do we do with this? What are they asking for? What do we do?
Well, I think, basically, I was thinking they want,
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we give them our recommendation? Say, we'll have a representative on there, but we would actually like it to be,
more open to the,
yeah. A bigger discussion with residents. Well, they
More-
have a resident on there.
More open to real input from residents.
Yeah, something like that. Make sure that the process, that they're going to undertake is that they get a lot of
that
input from
other that residents
that
around there
understand
are
the
actually informed.
that
Yeah.
understand the impact of a potential. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we can write that up, who's taking notes tonight, or is she going to do it off the thing?
Off the tape.
She's supposed to do it off the tape.
Okay.
Okay.
That was going to be quick.
I did too.
No, but those are all good points.
Yeah, it's all good. Where are we? Next item is appointments. Where's my list?
Everything on this list needs to be appointed?
Correct. These are ones that we
Have not done yet.
we haven't done yet.
In this, we haven't discussed yet.
The
This
second page, no, we haven't.
No.
At the bottom of that, we're not going
Or
to.
the top. We have not done anything on the second page.
We haven't done any of those, no.
When you say we haven't done any of them,
We just haven't addressed any of
We've
those
received the
new
applications.
people. We have applications from all those
Got it.
people that say new, yeah.
So we need to, when we get to that, we should talk about how we're gonna handle that. Not the town manager search.
So all these,
We've done that.
all these can be appointed.
Well, we can vote to appoint all of these. I have some questions.
Okay,
Okay, I was just gonna try to do the whole page.
Okay.
Let's
My-
start.
Excuse me?
Let's start at the top.
Yeah, why don't I just do my questions and then we can just vote
All
the
right.
whole thing. Okay, I'm just going down in order. Insurance Advisory Committee, can we hold on that? Because that's not needed until next year, right, Andy? So get our town manager in place and kind of do that in concert with that person, how they
Okay.
want to handle that.
okay,
I
that's
would-
I would agree.
I would agree.
Okay, then the next thing, Bicentennial Committee, there's two individuals. So two questions. It's a husband and wife, obviously, so, is that okay to have husband and wife? But I think we said that they were co-chairs, but I don't think we should appoint people to a committee. The committee should decide who's the chairperson.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
I think we did that beforehand because they were
To
the
get-
only
to get-
ones
to get it
it going,
started.
and they were great by
Yeah.
getting it going. But yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that committee could use another person or two to help to get other input because,
What are the other? Don't we have two other people that?
well, John is no longer
No, but we
on
have
it.
two other people.
Yeah, there was a lady, Nicole Francoeur.
Nicole Francoeur,
She's
yeah.
pregnant. I don't know if or delivered her child, so I don't know if this is her focus right now. I don't know. That's from what I've heard. Was there another person on the committee?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody from.
Christelle Skepper.
Oh, we just
Uh,
did that, yes.
Yes.
So really,
Mrs.
we
G.
have 3 working people.
Well, I think Nicole was still interested in it.
Yes.
And obviously, she wanted to take advantage of remote participation.
I don't know if she's come to meetings, if what I've heard in the recent past, she's been unable to, because for legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm just wanting to get the committee to continue to move forward, so it would be good if we had
She
another
does
person.
have a good, I think Nicole has a good, good background we need somebody with her expertise. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, I wasn't discounting.
Yeah.
I was just saying it would be good if we had even another person.
Oh, okay.
So that's all. So, I mean, I'm okay reappointing them. The Zoning Board of Appeals, Richard Davies, the term expiration, she has 2017, they all should be 2018. But the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have 5 members that are appointed to a 5-year term according to our bylaw. So his expiration should be 6/30/2022. And then my next question is, it says Dennis.
No, but that just means it's expiring right now, and
Okay.
and that we have to.
These terms, yeah.
This is where they're
So
expiring.
I'm just calling
okay.
out that it's a 5-year appointment.
Okay.
That's all. And Nick Delina, Finance Committee Representative, I don't know what that is.
Well, that
His term's not up.
no, that's. I think she had that as like on the CIC or something,
Which that has nothing to do with us.
which doesn't have anything to
So
do
that should
with
be
us.
crossed off.
Exactly.
And then the last thing is on the Energy Advisory Committee. I don't know if this is a mistake or what, but I only know what's in front of us. It says the conflict of interest was done in June of 2015, so that is not current, so they should not be reappointed until they make that current. Or this could be a typographical mistake, I don't know.
So I think that those people all are need to redo their.
Okay, then we should hold on that.
Yeah.
That was all I had on that first page.
No, I agree with that. So I would make a motion that we approve the list as written with the changes of the holding on the Energy Advisory Committee recommendations and the Insurance Advisory Committee recommendations, and Nick Delina as a Finance Committee representative for unknown committee.
And Richard Davies is a 5-year appointment. All other appointments are through June 30th, 2018.
Correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you want to are you going to mark up a piece of paper for her?
Yeah.
You want to just take mine?
I'm writing on mine too.
You want just a copy of this?
Well, you need to give it to Mary. So
Yeah.
she understands it.
So
She might not get
Davies
that
is what is
6/20.
I'm just trying to find him. So it's 22. Yeah,
Cross off that.
I did. Okay.
So can I talk to the first section on the next page?
Yes.
So Historical Commission, I'm just going to go down the list. Historical Commission, I mean, I don't know that person. I have no objection, but I don't know who they are. Planning Board alternate, and I know we don't normally do this, but do we want to ask the Planning Board for input of these
No.
2 people?
No.
I looked, and there is no.
Okay.
There's no planning background for either.
Can I ask a question? Are you going to get down to the end and just say, why don't we ask these people to come in our next meeting so we can talk to them?
No, well, partly.
Okay.
There's 2 that I think I'm okay with, like, going ahead with today. Those 2 were, did you read their resumes when Mary sent them in?
Yeah.
This Tracy Peter is, first of all, she was a former conservation agent for the town of West Newbury, and she is also has experience with Mass DEP. I mean, she's like a superior, and the rest of the people don't have specific conservation experience. That's superior experience, if you ask me. I would say that she would be great. And then also for Ed, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Yeah, I mean, you know.
I worked with him on the Capital Improvements Committee. He was very enthusiastic. Made all the meetings. Was trying to learn about the town. So
Why don't we appoint?
I would appoint him.
Those 2.
I would make a motion to appoint him.
Why don't we appoint those 2, and then if you want to ask the rest to come in, that's fine. Those are both, the conservation is a 3-year appointment, and so is the finance committee, so they would both expire 6/30/2020.
So moved.
This all in favor?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
let's talk about this more, we're just asking them when or not. So we have one more position on the conservation bill?
No, there's only one.
And so now we're good on the FinCom, correct? That's
No, we're
No.
behind. We're behind. We're behind one 3-year appointment, and then John said he was doing this temporarily until we found somebody. So we have 5 people, including John McGrath, on the finance committee right now.
Oh, that's right, because we lost 3 people. Correct. Okay.
So at least they can operate now.
Okay.
I thought we had 2 positions in conservation to appoint this year.
No, one. I looked. The one guy that didn't want to get reappointed, that was it. The other 2 are 2 people each year, the next 2 years.
So I know that
Okay, so let's cross off conservation.
Mary has invited the people for the town manager search committee to come in at subsequent meetings. So that's already been. I don't know which. She invited like 3 of them at one meeting, 3 of them another. I'm pretty sure that's already in.
Yeah, I think Joe's suggestion was to ask him for the first meeting in
July.
July,
Yeah,
and then
I
the
thought we were.
Did she invite all of them, or?
I thought so.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
we said at the last meeting. Yes.
No, I think what you said is that for the people who had already applied,
Yes, that's what this list is.
okay, that they would be offered that date, but if they couldn't make it,
Yes, that is exactly.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And as far as I know, well, I don't know about all of them. I don't know of anyone that can't make it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
After our last meeting, I talked to Senator Tarr on the phone, and he said that August 21st deadline that we kind of talked about is very attainable.
Okay.
And Mike and I looked on the 3rd reading thing at the State House, and it wasn't on there. And Lenny's going into the State House. I talked to Lenny on the phone after that. We couldn't find it. And Lenny's going to go in. He's going into the State House tomorrow anyway. So
I'll check.
and he's going to go and talk to Sperry Yogas, and he's going to check and see where it's at.
Good. So we're on target.
Mm-hmm. And if there was any changes or anything that didn't look like we were going to meet that target on the Senate side, Tarr said he'd call us.
Okay. Good. So what do we want to do with the rest of the people, or the rest of the appointments? Historical, planning, car post.
How many
I would
planning-
add bicentennial to this too. We don't have a person, but
How many planning board alternates are there?
1.
Anybody that wants to serve on the historical commission, I have no problem with that. We have a position, right?
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
neither do, I mean.
But somebody that has interest in that, I agree.
applaud it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
We're looking for people. Quite honestly, I think getting in the paper, we've had more influx of people wanting to get on committees this year than we've had in past.
It's been a good year. Yeah.
So I think we should,
Encourage it.
exactly.
Yep.
So I would make a.
What's the
motion.
term for that? How many?
It is. Why don't we just say it is what it is?
Well, let's find out. I got it right here. Hold on.
Okay. I don't have it.
Historical Commission appears to be a 3-year term.
So make a motion to appoint Jennifer Conway to the Historical Commission for a 3-year term ending in
2020.
yeah,
Second.
6/30/2020.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
This Cindy person wanted to be a conservation and the other, so I would say that I would appoint Cindy Suter to the planning board alternate.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me just get their applications.
I've got it right here. So this particular person, Cindy Sauter, I guess how you pronounce it, is she has a master's degree in community development. I mean, that sounds like somebody that would be helpful on the planning board.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a person that could be mentored, because we do have a planning board that has a lot of people on there that have been there for a while, so they might be leaving, and you get somebody that's kind of. That was the whole point, because the planning board's a little tough. You just can't step in, in that respect. So you have somebody that's an alternate, that then they, in turn, can become a full-time. What is the alternate? Are they voting?
They can.
Only on special permits. The planning board is a special permit granting authority for a lot of different items, such as the open space development. And there are times when a planning board member cannot make all the meetings, so they have the alternate there to be a voting member in the case they need to issue the special permit.
Because you have to have
You have a 5-member board, and you have to have at least 4 members who vote for it.
So did you make a motion, Glenn?
Yes.
Second? Was it second?
No.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So we're appointing Cindy Sauter to the alternate
Well,
position
as long as we're doing this, why don't we just
on the planning board.
add Marlene Switzer to the Car Post Committee?
Yep, I was getting there.
Oh, I move to
Okay.
appoint Marlene Switzer to the Car Post Committee to a term ending June 30th, 2018.
Second.
2018, second. I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're done.
Okay, wage schedule. There are a couple of questions here.
Well, did we do are we good on the Concom?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did that already.
That was the first one
So
we did.
is there one or three?
One.
There's
One.
one
Yeah,
position,
'cause I
okay.
thought there was 2, but
No,
no.
I have
Okay.
it right here if you want to see it.
Yep, no, I don't, I trust you. So there was a couple of questions I had on hourly stuff. So
Okay,
the Jay Smith one, did we figure that out?
Yeah, I think I have to say, I found nothing. I went back and listened to the meeting, and I found nothing that said 25, so I guess it's 20.
It's 20. Okay.
I did have some questions though still.
okay.
And then, one sec. Do you mind if I ask the other hour?
Yeah.
And then what about for the Council on Aging? That was another one.
Well, that
seemed-
changed. It's changed on here.
Okay. Thank
It
you.
should be 37.
36. There's 7 or 6.
Where are we? I gotta find it, that's all.
Well, I don't know.
What page?
Oh, I don't know. $37. It's on the last page. Yeah, it was 38 last time.
Okay, it's right, yeah.
Okay. So, going back to the page 1,
Yep.
Mary Wingless, her annual pay should be $61,200.
Okay. Second that.
Well, okay, second.
It's easy to do it. You let them figure it out.
Yep.
The end result has to be that. That's what we're voting on.
You were voting, yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Because I would like to vote on the individual changes,
Fine.
and then we can vote on everything else the way it is. You know what I mean?
That's
by
good,
that?
okay.
I don't know if this is necessary, but there's no rate on Lori. I don't know how to say her name. It's supposed to be $20 an hour, I think, right?
It's right there. It's $20 an hour.
Up here, right underneath.
The new rate,
Up
it should
here.
be the same,
Where
but
it
yeah.
says under
Oh,
Selectmen.
she's down below. Yeah,
She's in
down
2
below.
places, and I'm
Yeah.
talking about the top.
Got it.
spot.
Got it.
Okay, that's $20 an hour. So the next thing is Leah Zambernardi. She should be. We voted to increase her grade to grade 6. It's blank on here, so that should have a 6 for a grade level.
Okay.
Oh, it's too bad Art's not here. So, Art.
I had Leah carefully look at Art's contract, and she says that this is correct.
Leah who?
I mean, Lori, I meant to say.
So he does not get a 2% raise?
No.
What's he get?
He gets the raise, his raise
It's contractual.
was contractual and changed in January.
Okay.
Next one, Joe.
I mean, this is just housekeeping stuff, but on the Board of Fire Engineers, Bob James, Mary Ann Fowler are not fire engineers.
Well, we have things on there with,
Mark Hemingway is no longer on the fire department.
we have things on there, we even have Steve Alvino, I saw, on some stuff, he's been around.
And then the last thing was on the very last page,
Mm-hmm.
Dawn Watson in the library, we voted to increase from a grade 4 to a grade 5.
Okay.
Those
But-
are all the things I have.
Okay, so I make a motion to, approve the wage, detail fiscal year 2018 with those, amendments. And the one amendment being Jay Smith for 20 hours,
Second.
right? That was another one that
Yep.
we didn't vote on before, but you didn't mention, so I,
Okay.
okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we'll give these details to Andy so they're all through it, okay?
What is the, I'm just curious, what is the chief's contracted? So it's not a 2% raise or it's a timing thing?
It's defined right in there. I looked at it a week ago and now I forget, but have you got it right there?
Yes. It is defined right there, you're right.
Who scanned all that in for you?
It's in
Is it
there.
already in there? It's all in there?
It's on a public file that you could use, if you had your computer, you could go into this.
It's so great, I have to say.
Baby steps.
I'm just kidding.
No, don't be. I told you it was a good idea, but I was probably not gonna utilize it as much as you two. I told you that right off the bat.
So, okay, so it has 102,500 for fiscal 18. Oh, that's fiscal 18, okay. Okay, all right, never mind.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, we're gonna discuss a little bit of our job description for the town manager.
So just so you know, I was trying to make it easier for everybody, and
The yellow is the
yellow,
legislation.
well, the yellow is, yeah, obviously, I took a lot of things, Archie took a lot of things from the words in the legislation. What the yellow is are things that we both have verbatim in our set. So like,
Right.
So like you somewhere have, and I know it doesn't start, but the town manager shall be blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
That is in yours. So the stuff that's not highlighted is not in both of them.
And I didn't do one.
Sorry.
There's no need to. I was away and,
And
this legislation kind of defines it.
one of the, I would like to make this one sentence and
Where are
ask, I'm on page 2 of Joe's, and I guess, and it's on mine somewhere, but about a quarter of the way down, it says, and Mike, if you listen to this, just everyone explain this sentence to me. With the approval of the Board of Selectmen, the town manager shall prosecute, defend, or compromise all litigation to which the town is a party. Well, wouldn't you be involved in that? I mean, like,
Oh, he'd be involved.
The
Yeah.
idea, no, the idea would be is that he would sign off on it. They, or
He or she.
He or she, they.
Like we're a select board, right?
no, we're not going there. We have too much to do.
So the idea is that they would give direction and as to what to do and some of the ideas of it, but it was with your approval. So normally it would basically be the selectman's agent in doing it.
You have the right to negotiate, you have the right to do that, but your cap is $10. So he would have the ability.
So let's suppose something came up and there was a settlement conference. Then basically you'd have the town manager being the person who would
Be representing the town.
negotiating with council, whether it's town council or whether it's special council, and then, you know, and then basically try to arrive at something, and then with your approval as the final thing. Across.
Would it make you feel better if it said with town council, with the approval of the Board of Selectmen?
But
this is
that's the
already
standard
in.
type language that
Okay.
people use
And that's in the legislation.
That's in the legislation, yes.
Can, just for a process of going through this, I talked to mine, you talked to yours, and then we kind of
Okay.
blend them together. So I tried to follow, to a degree, the way we have our job descriptions in our, our book. So I looked at, the finance director job description, and it has, definition, environment, duties, and it ends with qualifications. So that's why I tried to be broad, and I brought that first sentence up to the top, just to go through the things that aren't highlighted. I guess we could probably just cross off this otherwise prescribed by law, if that's okay. This paragraph down here about communications, I took that from a job description from another town manager, and the reason I did that to discuss with everybody was the single biggest thing that came up when we had the focus groups was communication to the residents, and that was I was blown away with how, it is an important thing, so I'm not minimizing it, but it's very, that was very important, a big piece of feedback. So I just thought it should be a key element of what this person's focus is. So that was the rationale for that, if you will. Then if you go to the last page, because then everything else is highlighted, if you go to the last page, I looked at the MIA, what's that, Massachusetts Managers Association, whatever it is. And one of the big pieces of feedback from town managers was the delineation of what they do and what we do. Now, from their point of view, they say, selectmen want to do more than what they should do, and whatever. And just from I thought we should try to define that line to the best of our ability. We're never going to fully define it, but we're talking about everything that person does. So maybe just to define some of the things that very clearly do not fall under that person. I don't know if we need this section or if it has to be this big. It was just an idea. So that's.
No, I think it's good. It's, laying things down ahead of time is.
You want to go through it?
Yeah.
Because I have some comments.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. The executive power of the town shall be vested in the Board of Selectmen. Obviously, we want to keep that correct.
Yep.
The Board of Selectmen shall serve as the chief goals setting and policy making body of the town, and not normally administer. I like that. And shall not normally administer the day-to-day affairs of the town. That gives us the opportunity if something's going awry for us to be able to.
Yeah, this wording, just so you know, I'm not that smart. I lifted it from the Mass Managers Association.
As such, the board resolves to hear any of those appeals and special problems not resolved at lower levels. The Board of Selectmen shall set guidelines and policies, directives that are to be implemented by the town manager and by other officers and employees appointed by or under its authority.
So what's that last bit mean?
So the Board of Selectmen shall set guidelines and policies, directives that are to be implemented by the town manager and by other officers and employees appointed by or under its authority. Under its authority would be the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
And then, but now, we circumvent, by that sentence, are we circumventing, would this be something a town manager go, you tell me that I have the day-to-day operations, but then you're gonna implement the policy onto other people and employees over me. Do you understand what I mean by that? I'm being the devil's advocate with that.
I see what you mean. Okay.
But I like it in there.
Yeah, and the rest of the paragraphs are from the legislation, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The Board of Selectmen shall appoint.
But Glenn,
Yeah.
remember, there are certain individuals, such as the chief of police
Yep.
and the town accountant, which report to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and that's where I
It's
think
set out
that
in here
those,
too.
yeah.
Okay.
What was it?
Which we appoint, not report to us.
Um,
I thought everyone reports to the town manager with the exception of the head
you
librarian.
can set a policy that way, but essentially the line of command goes from, you you can do that as a policy, but the idea was, the way it was constructed is that, you could have them report directly to you.
And then, the Board of Selectmen should be licensing authority of the town. The Board of Selectmen shall be responsible for, and shall approve the form and content of all town meeting warrants. I like that, before such warrants are submitted to the town meeting for the deliberation. Board of Selectmen shall review the annual proposed budget. I like how you know, and then with any changes, they present it to the finance committee and town meeting. Then, you guys differed, on the educational experience qualifications?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can beef what's here, we can beef it up a little bit.
No, but, okay, the math.
Yeah, I mean, I just
But I-
thought about it.
No, I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
But I just have some comments. A master's in public administration or equivalent.
Or equivalent.
Okay, I like that. See, my whole reasoning with this right now is that we don't limit ourselves.
I agree.
10 years of experience in municipal administration. That's too much.
See, that's why I put,
Or-
that's why I put 5.
You have 5, yeah, and I put 5 in here also. Or equivalent, you might want to say. You want to give us, because this search committee is then going to go off with this job description and is going to
So
say
how about
yes
if
or
we,
no.
how about if we add to that line, or equivalent experience?
Yeah, but 10 years,
Okay.
or 10 years of experience. Okay, one thing I got from that thing you and I went to at Holy Cross for MMA, whatever the heck it is that there isn't that much people out there anymore. It seems that we're going to recycle the same people, and if we're asking for 10 years, you're going to be recycling
Okay,
the same people from
fine,
town to town.
I'm open to change.
You know what I mean? I want to be able to open, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
I don't want to limit us.
That's, you can not like the candidate, but at least get the candidate to look at. Because this really limits us.
Well,
That's
how
the way
about
I
if we
look at it.
look at Archie's, take like the first couple sentences, or let's see.
Bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, considerable experience as a town manager or administrator. Right there. Institution. Accredited institution, considerable experience as a town manager or administrator. The candidate.
First 3 sentences actually are good.
Candidate with a graduate degree in public administration or similar, or concentration would be preferred. 5 years of experience managing a town or other large organization is necessary.
Yeah, I would go,
I like that.
I do too, and the only thing, like, are we, then after that, is it getting too detailed and too much into finance? Because this is broad.
This would include prior experience
It's a lot
with budgeting,
broader.
goaling,
It's a lot broader than finance. Finance is one element, another element is, I'll just call.
Well, that's, but that's
some
where,
of this, some of this, what's happened here too, I think, the job description, you guys, which thank you, you both, because you gave me an outline of what I've been doing. I said, why would I write another one up? Because the legislation kind of deems it, whatever. So, but there's a lot of stuff in here we're going to want in the job posting. Do you know what I mean by that?
Right.
Yep. Well, we'll take that from this, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of melted together. So this would include prior experience with budgeting, goal setting, employee supervising, reviewing, managing project experience, and familiarity in dealing with human resources would be preferable. That would be, I guess, in the job posting, but I like that in there. This includes some handling of collective bargaining, procuring, and negotiating with insurance carriers, considerable experience of municipal finance and municipal law in the Massachusetts is mandatory.
see, I want somebody that knows about Massachusetts.
We probably want that in there as a
Yeah.
new
Okay,
town.
what about
Cannot-
operations and public safety? That's not in here, if we're gonna get into that level of detail.
Operations and public safety.
What's
Public
what's
safety.
operations?
Well, is everything like DPW, inspection, water, health? The second floor, basically. What do you mean, no? DPW is like the second biggest,
No, but again.
this is all finance stuff. I'm not saying it's bad.
I understand, but we can even take the finance stuff out of it. But if we have these chairs, don't have the ability to move back like this. There you go. That's what the left one lets you go back.
Oh,
the right
cool.
one
That's
goes
what
up and down. There you go.
Oh,
You're
that's
being
good.
recorded.
So I don't think we need to be that specific in things. If we have municipal experience and then we look at that person's resume and say, hey, listen, that individual doesn't have anything, that, because
then what, then, okay, but then we
But,
shouldn't go
but
into all this
how
stuff.
would you,
Yeah, maybe we need to. And just have a saying that we need to have somebody in municipal finance and budgeting. That covers everything. Municipal finance and budgeting carries everything. And then in our job posting, we put in, desirable for us Newbury would be somebody that's blah, 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 blah. But I mean, in a job description, you're gonna say that you have to, see, the job description's like what you're going to do during the day. That's what we're doing right now, not a posting of a position.
that's correct,
Of the
yeah,
person that we
yeah.
want. So we, during the days, we want somebody to be able to manage municipal finance or budgeting, that's.
But
it.
we want them to be able to,
I want them to
I
manage.
want them to know about the issues related to family leave or something. I want them to know HR kind of stuff. We need that.
I agree with that. So do we have that in the job description, or do we have that in the job posting? That's my point.
I think that'd be very detailed for a job posting. I would like them to manage the first, for lack of better terminology, the first floor, the second floor, and that building a couple doors down. Not just this first floor.
So just list all the, however, I'll be, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter
Okay.
to me. But being a municipal manager of town government, that's it. And then the requirements of the, then you put the requirements for the job is somebody that has managed the DPW, a police, and. Do you know where I'm getting at? I'm agreeing with you, but I don't know if it needs to be in the job description. I mean, I'm sorry, this is the job,
This is the job description. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm just saying, this is getting into.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
you're saying, Glenn,
Yes,
yeah.
this is into the bowels of finance and administration, which is fine. But I'm just saying, if we're in the bowels of this, we should also be in the bowels of the other stuff too.
sure.
Or say it in a general way like you said it before. Either way, I'm just saying, don't leave out DPW and health and water and public safety.
Mm-hmm.
That
But we
has to
should, but if we leave them out and we're general, we should be ready to define it. You know what I mean by that?
Mhm.
So when somebody gets a job, when we say managing a
Well, this is, okay,
municipality.
hold it.
Menacing a-
Hold it. This is qualifications for the job. It's
Mhm.
in the all that stuff is in the description. This is their prior experience and education.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
I don't want.
That's what this is.
Yeah, so exactly. So,
So
that,
why do we? Why
we
are
don't
we,
need all of
we
that
shouldn't
stuff.
even be getting into it here.
Because it's
all
already
outlined
in.
over here.
in the legislation.
Right. So
That's
maybe.
that was my point. We don't need that in there.
Okay,
So just do the first three sentences.
okay, what about,
Bachelor's degree, your first three sentences would be bachelor's degree from an accredited institution and considerable experience as a town manager or administrator. See, I like the considerable experience because then we can look at it. You know, it gives us
it's a little,
big,
so
it doesn't
wiggle room,
stop people,
yeah.
right? The candidate with a graduate's degree in public administration or similar area of concentration would be preferred, which I like preferred, but not necessary, because if you find somebody with a bachelor's or something that you just like, 5 years experience in managing town or other large organizations is necessary. This would include prior experience with budgeting, goal setting, employee supervising, and reviewing and managing projects. I don't even know if you want that managing projects, that sentence in there. But I would go with,
Up to necessary. 5 years.
yes.
Up to 5 years managing a town or other large organization is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
okay, what about my question marks? Are we gonna have any kind of,
Where's your question?
proximity rule or anything like that?
I don't know. They shouldn't. Well, I think we should not require they live in town. First of all.
No, I didn't say
Yeah, I
that, I'm
don't-
just asking the question, yeah.
Who is it? What is it for us to tell them where they can live and where they can't live?
Right.
As
Exactly.
long as they get here on time and they do the job
That's
properly.
where I was going to get to. Yes, I agree.
If it becomes a problem, then that's something that we would have to address,
Yep.
and we would take care of it then. Say, hey, listen, the fact that you live in Nantucket is becoming a problem, because you're not, the ferry isn't running on time in the winter, and you're not being able to get here and manage the people, then we would have to address that. That would be a performance-based thing.
Right. We
I
probably
have a
wouldn't
problem
hire.
with
Okay,
people where they
okay.
live.
We probably would hire somebody from Nantucket.
No, but you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, yeah.
And but I think, when you're the police chief though, where there's a shooting,
You
or
need to be
a
here pretty
kidnapping
quickly.
or
Yeah.
something like that, I don't mean to seem a little bit dramatic, but you need to live in a, that's a whole different animal.
Right.
You all right with that?
Yeah, I am. That's why I just put it as a question mark, just to throw it out there.
Perfect having you two on the board, because I go to look at.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I say, what the heck? I just have to read through it. Then I had Mike. I said, Mike, can you read through this for me to see if you had anything, if I'm missing something? And it was perfect. But I started with the legislation and all that kind of stuff. I had it, and then I lost it. But it's really, we already defined it, really, this whole job.
Yeah, most of it's from the legislation, yes.
And
Okay, so what do we do now?
So are we saying basically take this and put it here? Is that what you're saying?
I would actually like to see one, if we could, if you made all the good notes, right? I mean, I have notes, and give it to Mary, and then just create one document that we could read.
Yeah, we'll look at a final copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just because we're going back and forth, so one document.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing we would want to do is start the posting.
Yeah, we got some time on that, but yes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the next thing we want to do is the posting.
Yep.
And on that, and we want to talk about, in that posting, we want to talk about salary and compensation.
Yes. Andy, you're going to look at the surrounding towns, all?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All towns in Essex County?
That's, I think, our next thing, right?
Yeah.
You want to start talking about the posting at our next meeting?
Well, our next meeting's kind of jammed, and there's not a time essence to the posting. We have a little bit of time, so I would hold off on that.
Well, I would like, are we allowed, Mike, to go into executive session to be able to talk about compensation? Because it would.
Compensation we can.
Yeah, because it would be, so I would actually ask Mr. Chairman that maybe the last meeting of July,
Okay.
that we go into executive session to be able to.
For compensation, yeah.
Just for compensation, because to get it ready for, because we have to put that part of the posting.
Yep.
And then maybe then you want to do the posting that night too?
We could.
Yeah.
Because if we're running a deadline of August 21st, we might want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mocked up a couple of ones that we did already from the interim finance director and the finance director posting that we did, so it's not going to be so much off. And then when we get the final on this, we can take from that. Sound all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing that.
No problem.
There's nothing better. You see, you're better at computers. It's easier for you to copy and paste.
Do it all day.
Make a motion to accept the invoice warrants.
Ooh.
No, it's going to be second, and then we discuss that because there's a ton of stuff.
Discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some.
I got it for you.
Whoa. Is that the payroll or the invoice?
This is payroll. Okay, so the first posted is for a bill for Byfield Auto, and we don't need to pay $1.36 in sales tax.
Who wrote that?
You did. Nice pickup there.
Again, thank you for being on board.
He has a better pickup than I did.
It's almost like a competition with you two.
No.
It's fun to
I don't want to
find-
win.
It's fun to find.
I don't want to win.
there are bills from, there's 4 of them actually, bills from the Teamsters for health insurance, and they reflect the, they reflect the way it's going to be in fiscal 18, but not 17. So in other words, the town was paying 65 and it should be 60.
So those amounts are gonna change?
So the total is gonna, I spoke with Lori about it, and the total is, the Teamsters themselves don't care where the money comes from. It's only really internal that the account will be, one account will be
60/40 rather than 60.
yeah, in other words, the payroll account would be charged a little more, and the insurance account would be charged a little less.
Okay.
And so there's 4 of those, and Andy, there's some that you have to sign.
So, okay, so we're good with that?
So, yeah, I would, all in favor, with those corrections?
Aye.
Aye. The payroll warrants, I mean, where am I? Yeah, payroll warrants. We have a sticky on, the, Carol Mahoney, who is the, minutes taker for the FinCom, and there are no, there's no dollar amount on the, on any of the invoices.
So what are we paying?
There's no dollar amount, and there's just hours, so that's kind of a blank check.
All right, I'll look into it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you won't issue the blank check, right?
The hours were worked. The next one is in the finance. Annie Sterling has been working for the planning department for summer for time, and so we just want to charge that to the planning instead of to the finance department. We have to delineate those hours.
So she's been working, I'll just say 6 to 10 hours a week in the planning board. I don't know the exact number.
But we have to know the exact amount, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So going forward, they need to be charged. If she's going to be there, it goes against their budget.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they didn't budget for it.
Well, you're right. Yes.
Okay. But, so this was the temporary person when Mike Patino was there. Why don't we go a little history so I can remember properly?
Okay.
So this was, the planning board was a little bit behind with some old stuff 2 years ago. Yep, and Mike Patino saw some a bit of availability of being able to switch some people around, do some temporary stuff.
And then temporary became permanent.
Okay, so that actually, that has to stop. So if, I would ask, could you, the chairman or one of us, talk to, I would probably talk to the individual first, so it's not, that, you know what I mean, Annie, or have, talk and say, hey, listen, this has nothing to do with you, so because if we all of a sudden then start and bring her down, there's probably gonna be some type of whatever. So maybe we say, hey, listen, this is
just addressing where the hours are charged.
yeah, but why don't we, and I would agree with that, so why don't we address everything?
Yeah, well, we're going to do that too.
Yeah, because if this was a temporary thing, and if the planning board really needs this stuff, they need to budget for it properly. Because it's coming out of the finance department. So we should stop it, because it was only temporary, so we should need to stop where the temporary thing, and bring her back down to the finance department, and then readdress the situation, bring her back down to the finance department, as a board of selectmen, readdress the situation, maybe she can help out in other departments. And maybe she can help out a little bit up there still too, but I know there's some other departments that need some help.
Correct, yes.
So when do we wanna do that?
Well, just to take the pieces of what you just said,
Mhm.
the charging of money effective immediately, that it goes against the planning board's budget. I wouldn't go backwards,
Mhm.
but I would go.
Yeah, we don't need to do it retroactively, no.
No, because
But
there was
going
not the,
but going forward as of today, it should, planning hours should be charged against the planning budget.
who's gonna tell the planning board that? Because they need to know that immediately.
I will.
And then, and you'll tell Annie too, and you'll bring her back down to where she is, and then we can, why don't we do an assessment, and then we can decide what happens next?
So when do we want to stop? When should she not go upstairs?
Well,
Let me talk to the
why don't, well, you know,
to
why
the
don't we-
planning people.
Because if they're gonna be charged for it now, it might happen immediately, I mean, they're gonna realize that they didn't have the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is something that was Mike here, then Andy here, we kind of,
We got lost in the shuffle.
yeah, nobody's fault. I'm not blaming you. Don't think I am when I said that. But I mean, just, you know, we had so many shuffles here. People can't remember what was said. You know what I mean? And when we're not
I understand.
here, when we're not here
The
every day-
intent was not that it was a permanent solution,
No.
no.
No, and we caught
At
up.
least in my own mind, I said, yeah, we'll do that for a
But I
while,
think that's
yeah.
how they're doing it.
Yeah.
So how many hours does she work up there?
6 to 10.
And how many hours does she work down here?
24 total.
Four
I think-
times,
I
four
think it's
times
24.
6.
24.
4 times
4 days
6.
a week, 6 hours a day is what she started on her schedule.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I think it's important that somebody talks to her first, and the planning board, so she understands that it has nothing to do with her. And then we finally caught up, because of us, we finally caught up on a temporary situation, and then we need to now bring her back to the plan. If we can bring her back to the, want to do it next Monday? What day? She works Monday through Friday? Excuse me, Monday through Thursday?
Thursday. Next Monday's the 3rd of July. It's about, I
We're working, aren't we? All right.
have to work on the 3rd of July.
Yes. But we're open, aren't we?
Yeah, well, Selectmen's office is open.
Okay, we'll talk about it. You want to, okay, starting next Wednesday, then? Listen, we came across a situation, it's probably best that we handle it, and we put some, while we're talking about it, just put some things down. You've asked questions when this is gonna happen. So the planning board needs to be told that when this individual is upstairs, when it's upstairs, because she might be able to still go up maybe once, you know what I mean, one time a week or every other week or something like that too. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? When needed, but when needed, it's going to have to come off of their budget.
As long as they have, it goes against their budget.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
No, but hold on for 1 second. But see, that statement, I don't like that statement.
what's that?
I don't care. They might say, okay, we want her for 10 hours a week and we'll just pay her.
They don't have enough money.
I know, but then they say, well, we'll just go to fall town meeting. Yeah,
Yeah, they could.
words mean something.
You're
When we
right.
say things, so
You're right.
I want it.
You're correct.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I want the words to mean something so nobody questions anything. We bring her back downstairs
Yes.
because it was a temporary situation, and we readdress the allocation of her if necessary. Simple,
Yes, I agree.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that bringing her downstairs so it's not a bang on them is, I said next Monday to give them a little time. Next Wednesday?
Well, I was. thinking
That's
maybe-
not much time, Glenn.
Maybe,
That's,
yeah.
that's pretty short notice.
Okay, so, okay, let's talk about it.
Okay.
That's what, I was just threw a thing out, so it's not good. What do you think, Andy? Do you have any input on
Well,
that?
in fairness to the planning board, I think they need a little bit of notice in order to make the transition.
All she's doing is filing old files. That's what I thought she was doing, correct? Is she doing more than that now?
Yes.
It's a slippery slope. It's
Because okay, see, I didn't even know that. So my recollection was she was sent up there because there was a backlog in filing files.
They've got her as a regular person, I can help up there now.
So I would bring her down as soon as possible, but that wasn't the deal.
Well, you asked Andy, what's your input?
Well, I think we should give them a little bit of notice, maybe like a month or so they can plan for the transition.
Whatever the first work week in August is then.
I think that's more reasonable, yeah.
I want
Okay.
something, I
No,
want
you're right,
something
yeah.
done.
Concrete,
So it's
yeah.
done, and nobody's done anything wrong, and whatever, and we didn't even realize this. This should have been addressed with the planning board and said, hey, listen, we have this temporary position, we're so busy, this has turned
But
into.
it also should have been addressed in the budgeting.
Well, that's what I meant, that's what I meant.
In
They
the,
should have
for the
addressed that.
town, for the 2018 budget, it should have been a request in their budget.
Yeah. Okay?
Okay,
So he'll talk to the planning board, and you'll talk to Annie too?
yeah,
Right, and the budgeting is immediately. Well,
yeah.
forward.
No.
If they want it, they get it.
Okay.
Last time.
Last payroll question is Angus Flaherty related to Tom Flaherty? That's,
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
do we know that?
I do not know.
And because Tom signed off on the,
Because if he is, I have no idea who.
on the
that is.
payroll.
I just noticed they have the same last name.
Okay, I'll find out.
I mean, if they're related, he has to get more signatures. And should probably be signed at the beginning. Okay, so.
Doesn't sound like a name that would be like a kid or his grandson, does it? It
No.
seems like an 80-year-old guy with a pipe in his hand.
I love it.
So, yeah, I mean, so if it is a kid, Angus, maybe it's a family name, I don't know. Okay,
Aye.
stay.
Oh, okay. So I just want to bring it up so that during the summer months, the departments get reviewed. I'd like to have the goals for the departmental goals for 2018 and perhaps the responses for how they address their goals for fiscal year 2017.
We already asked them, and I believe Gary sent out a letter.
Yeah.
The only one we've got was Teresa's.
And Chief Reed did, to have the results by July 7th. So that's already in. And then for goals for next year, could I suggest that we start with ourselves so that we establish the top line goals and then share them with the departments? We do the reviews first for the 9 people that we're responsible for. And then after we have that conversation, then they write their objectives for each.
You want them to make their goals after being,
Here's
after.
the feedback, get the results from last year, here's whatever feedback there is, and then write, because how would they know what to write if they haven't gotten feedback?
I would agree with that but I would keep it loose because, again, with the appointments of the Insurance Advisory Committee, we're gonna have a new town manager. And so that person, that person will be wanting to do the goals and stuff of next year. So I would,
Well, the town manager's not gonna be in place till January.
I understand, but I'm just saying that I just don't wanna set strings, whatever.
Well, these
You
are
understand what I'm trying to say?
These would be things we would want to do anyway.
These are the
Yeah.
board of
Yeah.
selectmen goals, which I would envision we continue to do even as town manager.
Well, we would give the town manager our goals, and hopefully that person would implement those in the,
Right.
in his budget and in their budget, and then be able to disseminate that.
Okay,
to-
so let's all come up with
Yes.
our list,
Of goals,
yes, for the next meeting or the meeting
our
after that?
individual goals, or our goals for the individuals?
Our goals for
For the town.
The Board of Selectmen goals.
Board of Selectmen goals for fiscal 18.
I understand, but what could they be? Our goal is, we want to hear things like to be able to hire a successful town manager. Is that a goal? Or
It certainly is,
or,
yeah.
I mean, keeping the tax rate down, that type of things aren't real. But they are real. But you know what I mean? Of course, I don't have to have that as a goal. I try to do that every year. Something to do with the high school. Something to do with the downtown thing. Something to do with.
But it's just.
I would put one of the goals into. I'm just trying to figure out so I come back with a list that means something rather than just a list that you know what I mean? Something about town-owned land. You know, that's going to be one of mine that we really
I
investigate.
mean, we always
talk
that.
about it. We haven't.
And it's hard to do, but we have to keep thinking about it. Yes.
We have the goal on water.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
When do you want this?
Do we want next meeting or two meetings from now? I think two.
Well, you
Okay.
said the next meeting is pretty packed, right? So
Well, we've got police contract negotiations at 7:30. We've got a public hearing. We've got a half a dozen people coming in for.
yeah, so let's do it on the 28th.
Okay. Yeah.
Make a motion to.
Do you want to? So the next thing we need to do.
Is assign who we're
Yes,
going to do.
Yes, we should do that. You can do that process kind of in tandem. You don't have to have our goals to have that discussion.
I misunderstood. What
No,
are we doing?
who do
I understand.
who do we
that.
want
But
to?
what's the process that you want?
Who do we want to?
We're going to.
Who do we
I
each
thought
want to review?
We haven't.
Yeah.
We want.
Last year we just had Chris pick three.
Okay, but hold on.
Yeah.
We want them to come back to us with their comments on how they have or haven't achieved their goals.
17, yes, fiscal 17.
And then we take those and meet with them.
Yes, so we have.
And then after that meeting, then they come back with the goals for 2018.
And we also give them our goals of the Board of Selectmen.
Mhm. So can I make a suggestion?
And we also have I don't know if you use it or want to use it, we have a kind of format to use too for evaluations.
Yeah.
We use them all the time. She hands them out.
Okay.
She has folders and she used to put names on them. Yeah. We shouldn't take for granted too that Mary knows what to do.
Yeah, what Chris had done on theirs, so when we got the goals back from people, she took the goal and the result and she copied it and put it on that evaluation form.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't mind, I can explain it to you.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we
it's
shouldn't
also
just-
it also is help. It's kind of
Very
helpful. Yeah.
But we shouldn't just think that Mary would know what to do.
No,
You know what I
she
mean?
would have,
All right.
Can I make a suggestion for us? We should do this much earlier because we're asking them for their goals after the budget's been done. We should be doing their goals while they're doing their budgeting. Because they could come to us and say one of our major goals are, I guess they do that in their budget, I guess, theoretically. But they could come and say, hey, one of my major goals is to do this next year and be able to implement this. And this is the reason why my budget is this way. I guess they do that anyway.
It's hard. It's hard though because it's hard to deal with the money and then other things that the.
we have to take a time, it's,
No, I know.
It's a little slightly of.
But you understand my-
no,
you
I
understand what I'm
totally
saying?
get your point. It's just a little easier
I
to
guess they're
accomplish
doing
it
that-
now
I
because
guess they're doing that anyway because they're the ones that set the budget up, and they know what they can achieve with those monies.
But there might be non-financial goals too.
I try to grow as an individual every year, so that's my goal. So, I mean, literally and figuratively.
So why not? But
That's right.
in terms of who does what, you want to just do what we did before? Or?
Do you remember who you did before?
No, I mean we just
I
picked them out of
understand,
the
but
hat.
do you remember who you did last year?
yes.
Do you remember who you did last year?
Um,
I really don't.
I remember
I think it's Glenn.
2 of them.
Okay, so why don't we try not to do the same ones? That's all I was trying to get at.
There's, you could argue that pro and con, because you've had a discussion last year with them, how well did they do based on that discussion?
You could work it either way, yeah.
So how do you
Yeah.
want to do it? I don't care. How do you want to do it, Mr. Chairman?
I just think Mary picks the names out of the hat. Then we don't have to think about it.
There's 9 people, so there's 3 for each.
Or since you're the chairman, you could do it.
Pick them out of the hat.
Just sign them.
Okay,
all
all right.
just another thing that Mary's gonna. Take
Yeah,
2 hours. To
yeah,
do it.
she'll-
Not because of her, but it's because she wants to make sure she does it right.
Yeah,
she's done it
yeah,
before.
okay.
Just say.
All right,
why don't
I'll
you
do
just
it.
Say, hey, listen, Glenn has these 3, I have these 3, and Joe has these 3, and then Joe will tell her how this format worked with Chris.
Okay,
It is.
yeah, okay.
Anything on the agenda? If not, I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I am.
We actually only have one. Last time we said we were gonna have a more in-depth discussion about signs. I thought we were maybe gonna do that tonight.
No, let's do it on the 28th of July.
We also talked about if we wanted to bring the community center, that's hard to say, community center committee in to see what they're up to.
And I would bring in both, either one of them or both, or whatever. When, like tonight would have been a good night, a night for all companies, a lot of topics.
But what is the community center committee coming in for?
Well, they've been meeting for a year, we don't know what they're doing.
Maybe that's.
Have you heard them,
Yes.
what?
Well, I heard the same thing, that probably that, their vision of having a self-building like Newburyport has, or something like that, a bigger project like that, probably is not the best thing to do. And then maybe making some renovations to the annex would probably be better and suit them. You want to have them come in and tell us about that? Have them come in. They might not be ready.
They need to come in at some point, and so is vice.
So why don't we ask both of them to come in just to say, hey, give us an update and how can we help, or how can we?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, both. Just, we want a 5 or 10 minute progress report on,
Sounds good. Yeah, progress report. That's good. Make a motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
I think you meant to adjourn into executive session, not the meeting.
Adjourn into
Oh, I
executive
forgot
session.
about that. All in favor?
For MGL Chapter 38, Section 21A.
Yep.
Anderson,
Aye.
Kemper,
Aye.
Archibald, aye.
And then we'll and after that we'll just adjourn for the night.
You're coming out, oh, yes. Thank you.
And we don't.
Chairman, did you go in 1 and 2?
Yes, we did.